The GitHub or cloud mode in Keystatic are pretty powerful, but sometimes it's not what you want when you work locally. This whole dance of creating a new branch, opening a pull request, merging it, and then pulling the changes back into your local project can be sort of irritating when you want to move fast. And you also lose the ability, which is something I do all the time, to edit content directly by editing Markdoc, YAML, or JSON file. I want quick changes. When you're deving and prototyping, chances are you actually want to use local mode because it's much faster. But you also don't want to alienate other people who want to contribute to your project in production. And a really nice compromise here is to change the storage mode based on whether you're in development or production. Let's do this. Const is prod equals process.env.nodenv is equal to production. So if we are in production, we want to use storage kind local. But if we're in prod, we want to use GitHub, or actually let's go back to Keystatic Cloud. We could do it directly inline here, but let's set up a local mode here, which is an object. And to help us, we're going to type this as a local config, which is a type from Keystatic core, which is the type for the entire config in local mode. And here we can reach for the storage. So this is going to make sure that our local mode has the correct shape. We're going to set the kind to local, and that's all we want actually. We don't want the path prefix for local, and so let's create our other mode, const remote mode. Feel free to name it like you want. We're going to type this one as cloud config, or use GitHub config if you want to use GitHub mode. And again, we'll reach for the storage. So it should tell us what is missing. And here we want the kind to be cloud, and we do want the path prefix to be prod. And I think that's all we need. So now I'm going to re-enable the cloud settings since we use cloud mode. And instead of this here, I will check, is it prod? If prod, use remote mode, which is the cloud mode. And if not, use local mode. The best way to test that it works is to run the project locally. And we're fully expecting to be running in local mode. So npm run dev. And the surefire way to know that you're in local mode is exactly that. We don't have any UI information about the GitHub repository, like branches, etc. So we are in local mode, which means that that little change that I did locally at the start of this video should be available in my first post. And there it is. Super quick dev loop. So if I save this, my local file is saved. And if I go super duper quick dev loop and save, this is updated here as well. So this is much more empowering when you do development or even demos or you teach Keystatic to your team. So now let's go and commit our changes. And actually, I don't want to commit this little demo, so I'll remove that one. And so the only changes we have is what we've created, this logic to use local mode or cloud mode based on the node env variable. So we're going to let that build. And the hope is when we visit the production Keystatic admin UI, we are in cloud mode. All right, deployment completed. So let's go and visit the site and visit Keystatic. And I am hoping to see the cloud mode, and that makes me super happy. So in summary, we are allowing remote contributors to edit the site through Keystatic Cloud and interface with the GitHub repository. But we also allow devs to pull the site locally and allow them to have a really quick dev loop, and also enable them to edit code directly to make content changes if they want.